قال لي انا اسمي مهدي. قلت له جاب مهدي على مارك، انا ابني اسمه مهدي. فقال انا قبل سنين صرت دخلت الى مذهب التشيع. هذا هو الاخ مارك. استقبلوه بالصلاه على محمد وال محمد. هو الان اسمه مهدي بس بعجاله. قلت له شلون دخلت الى انت التشيع؟ وبهذا الزمن والوضع الحرج اللي سمعتنا احنا يعني بالميديا وكذا. قال انا يعني حسيت اكو شيء صح. هو طبعا الولد مسيحي ولا زال امه وابوه مسيحيين، لكن هو دخل التشيع. قال حسيت اكو شيء صحيح لابد ان القاه. فتعرف على شباب من اهل السنه قاموا يحكون عن الاسلام، بس لاحظ شيء غريب انه وايد يحكون عن الشيعه ويجيبوهم بسلبياتهم. الشيعه كفره، الشيعه يسجدون على التربه، يعبدون التربه، الى ان صاب الفضول انه يتعرف على الشيعه منهم. سبحان الله، بحث عن الشيعه فلقاهم هم الصح واعتنق التشيع بدلا من التسنن. صلوا على محمد وال محمد.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. I thank the Hajj for inviting me tonight on short notice. I'm not too good at public speaking, nor is my Farsi or my Arabic any good, but inshallah, very good. Okay, so my name is Mark. My name was Mark Squizzelli. I'm Italian. Convert to Islam. I was converted about 5 years ago. I checked it recently and time flies. Converted back in 2012. It's a pretty, I guess, average story, but hopefully I won't bore you and put you to sleep during the process. So when I was younger, I used to go to church with my parents. We were Roman Catholic, and as religious as it gets, you go to church every Sunday. Confession's usually on Saturday night. The priest does all the hard work and you're pretty much cleansed of your sins. And I didn't think too much of it. It was very elementary. I mean, the process of being a Roman Catholic is you go to church, the priest would read a part of the Bible. I wouldn't really understand much of it. It never really got translated for the youth, and most of the time I ended up trying to find a way out of the church and fall asleep or leave. I mean, it wasn't very engaging, but I would go every Sunday, and then come about 18, 19, I stopped going because I sort of lost all interest and there wasn't much pulling me towards the church. Later on I started falling into a bit of sin. I was going out as the youth in this country does. I was, following the trend, doing the westernized thing, thinking that was the cool thing to do. I would party, I would drink things that you're not meant to drink. I would take things that you're not meant to take. And I'd see the opposite sex because that's just what you do. At about 21, 22 after my 21st birthday, I started having some side effects. I started to get depressed, very upset. After a big night, which is what you do, I would come home the next day, I would laugh, but there was an empty hole, and it was getting big and bigger and bigger, and I couldn't shake it. No matter what I tried to do to band-aid it, or I would buy things and clothes and going out, but this hole was getting bad, and I couldn't escape from it. I would say I'm some sort of a deep thinker, and I kept on introspecting about this gaping hole. What is this? I'm depressed, I'm upset, I'm missing something very, very, I could feel it. So I started reading books. As I never touched a book in high school, apart from the standard books you have to do. And I bought a book. I bought a self-help book, a book on how to get back your life, who am I, Where am I? What is my purpose? You know, sort of books like that. And I was hooked. It was the first time in my life where I was like, I had direction. There was something engaging. These books kept on referring back to God or Jesus, because unfortunately a lot of books that you would buy, they don't refer, you know, I mean, westernized books, you don't get much Islamic knowledge from them or Islamic history. It was all about, you know, Jesus and you know, Moses and, you know, Gandhi and other famous, you know, philosophers. So I started realizing that it all was coming down to a denomination, and that was that with all these books and with all this knowledge and finding yourself, religion played a part. So I'm like, all right, there's some sort of relationship with the purpose of life and God. So I'm like, all right, I can see that there's some sort of a connection. I started questioning my own faith. I started going back into church and be like, all right, let's see what my faith's all about. During the time I was going back to church still, and I was starting to read the Bible, and every page that I opened the Bible, I couldn't understand it. You know, it was very rich, very, like, historical. It wasn't, like, it's fascinating now. I'll read the Quran, or I'll open up any page in the Quran, and there's always something that I can take from it. You know, it's just like a magical chairs. You just open up any page, and there's a historical or an important moral meaning behind it. But anyways, so around that time when I started going back to my church, I started questioning my own faith, I looked into Christianity, I looked into Hinduism, I looked into Buddhism. My faith wasn't that strong, so then I started questioning evolution, you know, versus God, and see, did God really create us? And I wanted to get that conviction really solid. You know, unfortunately, these days you don't get challenged enough with that yourself. You know, you just believe. You believe that there is a God. And I wasn't content with that, so I wanted to try and really get to the crux of it, see if this world could create itself, or was there a creator? And I would watch a lot of lectures by philosophers, angelic speakers. Khalid Yassin was actually a very interesting speaker. He's a Sunni convert himself, and he came to Sydney, and a brother gave me the CD. I was going to take for some brothers and ask them some questions. They go, here, listen to this. And he opened up my eyes to Islam. After hearing that, I'm like, all right. So I went home after getting that CD, and I typed up, what is Islam? It was the first time I really done my own research. You know, I speak to a few people, and I went home, and it goes, Islam is about praying 5 times a day. It's about believing in the one God, believing in the day judgment. And I found that so fascinatingly simple. And it hit something. That hole that was ever getting so big, it started to close a bit. I was like, wow, this is the first time actually something is, is real. Like, I felt like, oh, these guys pray 5 times a day, they fast, and they don't drink and all this sort of stuff. Okay. So I'm like, all right, there's some truth behind this stuff. Now what do I do? I didn't have too many Muslim mates. Most of my mates were all, Catholics, Christians, non-believers. So anyways, these guys that were at TAFE, I started speaking to them. One was a Sufi and one was a mainstream Sunni. And we started having discussions about Christianity versus Islam, and they started telling me, look, we believe that Jesus, isn't God. And they questioned me. They go, do you believe Jesus was God? And I'm like, look, I'm not too sure about it. I mean, whenever I prayed as a Roman Catholic, I prayed straight to God. So then we started having a debate. During that period, I started to lose all my battles, understandably. I didn't have much to work with, right? The 3 + 1 and all that, I couldn't really do the math with that. So it wasn't long before I'm like, all right, Islam is submission to God. This makes perfect sense. And we submit to God because we come from Him, and we couldn't have created ourselves otherwise. And the prayer 5 times a day was fascinating. You pray in the morning, you pray during lunch, you pray in the afternoon, at night. I know it's Shias we combine. That's another interesting discussion I had with the Sunnis. So anyways, I started to realize, all right, Islam is the way. What do I have to do to become a Muslim? I speak to the brothers, and they told me, look, you've got to give up alcohol. At the time, I'm like, it doesn't sound that bad. Like, I was a pretty heavy drinker. I drink every week, without fail, unconditionally, until I would see like what I had that night and yesterday, a bit of my liver and all that nasty stuff. And they said you can't eat bacon, you have to eat food that's halal. And I'm like, okay. And then you got to make the testimony, you know. So I'm like, all right. The initial stage wasn't that bad. I'm like, this just doesn't sound too bad. I can do this. This is not a bad thing. And while they were telling me this, I was asking more questions about, you know, so what do you guys do for fun? What do you guys, you know, you can't date women, so you get married straight away, and all that sort of stuff. So these sort of areas was new to me, but I'm like, it's a cleaner life. I was like, this is giving me purpose. That hole that was ever so big was closing up. And so I'd go home, and I would ask my parents, so Mum, Dad, what do you think of Islam? And then my dad said one famous thing. He goes, if you ever think about it or convert, I'll kick you out. And pretty much when he said that, I was already thinking of converting. So I'm like, oh, right, what am I going to do now? Anyways, because my whole life I was a Roman Catholic, all my friends were Catholic, all my uncles and aunties, you know, and I've based my life around drinking alcohol, around, you know, going out with women, around all these things that a Muslim, you know, should not do. So I started to go, all right, I'll wait a month. And then I realized, you know what am I doing? A short temporary period in my life, I'm going to be on this earth, and I can't do these simple things. Like, I generally started to realize that Islam was correct. Super. Okay, nice. All right, I'll cut the story pretty short. So anyways, I turned around to my mates at TAFE, and but actually there was actually something quite interesting. They turned around and they go, whatever you do, don't speak to Shiites. They'll convince you with their words. They worship the stone. Like they were talking about everything very normal, and then when they started saying this, and they started angry. So like, all right, that's pretty interesting. As soon as they said that, I had an old mate, and he was Shiite. And I called him up and do something about converting, but apparently you guys pretty hate it. What's the stitch? So not only was I had to convert, then I had to research really quickly. And then while I'm doing that, I had to convince my parents. So there was battles on all fronts. This was like World War II. So pretty much I converted with my mate, the Sunnis at that time, because at that time I was like, alright, this is the definite truth, and then I just got to figure out Sunni Shia. So long story short, I would go from my mate, his name is Ali Boosi. I went back to my mate. And I said, dude, you got to get me up to date. So he gave me books. He started making me watch Hassanain Rajabali. He started making me watch Naqshbandi, the Qazwinis, the Sayyids, and the Mudarrisis. And so all during the night, I would learn that. I'd go to my mates, have the debates with the Sunni. Then I'd go home and have to have a debate with my parents about why I'm Muslim. And then I'd have to go back to my mates. And it was nasty. Like, it wasn't an easy conversion. At the same time, I had alcohol withdrawals. I finally realised through historical events the importance of where Shias originated from, and with Imam Ali. I started to understand that they were betrayed. There was jealousy on all fronts. I started to realise how much status and importance and how much we need the Imams and the Ahl Bayt. And it was only after this, and after listening to du'as by Imam Jafar Sadiq, Abu Hamza Tamari, and Dua Qamar, I started to really understand my purpose. And then it comes to the point that we are praying and we are waiting for the return of Imam Mahdi, Wajad, Wa'ajjal, Farajahum. May God hasten his return. The whole started to die. I converted, I became a Shia. I we're still fighting on all fronts. My dad wanted to kick me out every night. There was no doubt about it. I had to say, Dad, look, I'm just praying. I'm just, I'm trying to be a good person. You got to understand. Long story short, my dad started to come around. I met my wife 2 years later, Fatima. God bless her soul. I actually always wanted to marry Fatima. As soon as I converted, I'm like, I love this name Fatima. I have to marry Fatima. And it wasn't easy because there's like a million Fatimas out there.
Should have been easy.
Hey?
There's a million of them.
That's right. and so, current stage now, I thank God. I kept on asking God, please, guide me to the right path. And after reading up on historical facts and how history unfolds and how the Achabites were oppressed and how the message of Imam Hussein and what he stood for, I see now how important it is to be a Shia. I'm so grateful. Praise be to God for giving me that blessing. Being here tonight and having a wife and inshallah being with you guys on the battlefield when the time comes. So I thank you for tonight and may God bless you all. And assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.